Carry on, Tom Jones.
Yeah, the Tom Jones, and I did all the jobs, and then I left Ted. The one night stands, you know, were sleeping in the back of a car. He paid us great money, but we had to pay all our expenses, and you're just about breaking even, you know. So then I went with Sidney Lipton to Grosvenor House, and I found I was sleeping in my own bed every night, and I didn't start till 10:30 at night. So in other words, I could do 3 sessions in a day at 15 quid a time, so I was earning 45 quid a day, and then Sidney Lipton's job on top at nights, so I was beginning to earn big money.
Is that the late 40s, Johnny?
Oh, no, that was the 50s, this one.
Early 50s.
The 50s. And then, of course, I started doing a lot of work, a session player, and then the sessions, and I also worked with Robert Farnham's orchestra, which was, that is the pinnacle, you know, of all, everything you get. And that is the proof that you, mind you, once you've been with Ted Heath, it's like a Rolls-Royce apprenticeship. You're made, and I was made for life. But then I wanted my own band. I decided upon my own band, and I got a job. The first job I got was the top nightclub in London, that's Churchill's, at New Bond Street, where I stayed for about a year, but the hours were a bit rough till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, until the police closed it down for serving booze at the time. And then of course I went to the Astor Club in Berkeley Square, and I was beginning made as a band leader. I got on the BBC, and I was on 2 or 3 times a week. In other words, you had to be on the live programme, and the live programme made me, to be quite honest. And then suddenly Granada offered me the job of musical director for the television show Spot the Tune with Marion Ryan and Pete Murray, and of course that was live every Wednesday, and of course I was a bit round with a big moustache, and, you know, and I had Savile Row suits, and of course I got all the bookings I ever wanted, and then of course I had a fabulous career, and then of course I started doing sessions, and then I was doing a session with Dusty Springfield at Philips, and there was Laurie Gold from EMI phoned and said, "John, can you do a session this evening, 7:30, 7 till 11 till 10? Yes. Who is it with? The Beatles. Now I got there half an hour before. If you're a session player, you get there half an hour before the session to get warmed up, because the first take might be the one they take. You ain't got time to get warmed up.
Yeah.
So hold on, do you know? So in other words, this is where your vast experience comes in, timekeeping and everything. There's much more than being a great player. You've got to behave yourself, you've got to be dressed immaculately, and you know how to behave yourself. If you want to be professional, act professional. That was my motto. And then of course, once I'd recorded with the Beatles, all the record companies came onto me. I didn't have to go to them, you know. They said, "Oh, we want to record you because you're the Beatles tenor player," you know. So I said, "Oh," and I settled on Philips because I knew the Philips people, and with Philips, you get your royalties. They're as straight as a die, like I am. So that was the best mover. I made 4 albums for Philips. They sold all around the world. One of them was #4. Full House Saxes was #4 in the Japanese hit parade. Sax Fest was a seller all over the world. And what I did, I played beautiful songs, Stardust, September Song, all these beautiful numbers that people knew. Not like I was silly and composed them, the people didn't know. So in other words, they bought the albums, and the mug punters, or the people who buy your albums, knew every song on the album, and all, except I didn't get the royalties for them, but of course I got the mechanical rights. And of course then I started doing sessions. I did a few for the Rolling Stones, which they didn't turn up for, and then that was in Mugan in the south of France, and then also I did Dave D. Dosey, Beaky and Tits, The Small Faces, and several others I did. I was doing all the sessions that were going, especially on tenor. But of course I did a lot of work on soprano, which everybody was horrified because it was an old con soprano, and I used to do all the French tunes if I wanted, and I could play out a tune if I wanted to because I was, you know, so experienced, and I used to play this thing, and of course the musicians, the great sessions players were horrified with it, but I got all the work for doing it, you know, and some of the solos I played were marvellous. I say it myself, you know, also, but they were all had a sense of daftness about them, you know, and as a result of those I did a lot of sessions with the Harry Seacombe and all these people, and they wanted me because I had a sense of humour.
I'm going to just cut that again, just because of the length of film
Okay.
we're